and welcome to our Radnor Township Design Review Board meeting. Before we get started, I'm going to ask Jason to do the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand.
Let's get everyone stand. The flag is to your left, over here. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All right, just a few ground rules before we get started. These meetings are televised live, so we'd ask you when you approach the podium, please tell us who you are, the business you represent, and you can lay your plans out on a desk next to the podium. So our first applicant tonight is DRB 2019-28, the application of 7-Eleven, and this is a continuation from last month at 301 East Lancaster Avenue in Wayne for 2 wall signs and 1 ground sign. Hi, Tim. Hi there.
Hello, my name is Stephanie Tuccio, and I'm here on behalf of the sign company Pro Signs.
Okay, nice to have you here. Okay, so you've got some corrected plans for us?
Yes.
Thank you.
So basically, we revised them to the recommendation that you guys had last meeting. So they're replacing the sign on the facade. It is going to be illuminated, but there's just going to be, it's just going to be the 7 and the 11 illuminated. And then the same goes for the side elevation sign and also the reface on the ground sign.
Okay, Stephanie, so the sign on the front of the building is going to be the exact same sign as currently what's there?
Well, it's changing from A+ to 7-Eleven, so
Yeah.
it's going to be the same size.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And it'll be totally opaque?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You guys all right with that?
Yeah,
I think it's, yeah, much better. Yeah.
absolutely. I think that works from last month. It's just that the 7 and the 11 are the illuminated portions.
Yep.
Yep.
And that's the same for the Sunoco.
That's on the monument sign. Yeah.
Right. So the sign on the side of the building, looks like you maxed that out. You're allowed up to 25 feet. Looks like you maxed that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's good.
Okay. And you guys were gracious enough to take off the 2 signs?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
That did not conform?
Mm-hmm.
So that's good.
I think it's located. It's centered nicely, like from last time we talked about that, so it looks good.
Yeah. So you guys all right with that? Looks
No,
right
thank
there?
you. I think you
Good.
took care of what we were concerned about.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the monument sign, Stephanie? Pretty cut and dry there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You guys all right with that?
Yeah, I think everything looks great.
Okay. Stephanie, on the monument sign, it looks like maybe the old sign where they punched out letters a little bit on the Sunoco.
Yeah, it does appear to be like that. I think what they're redoing is it's just going to be a flat reface, so it's not going to be the punched out letters.
Okay.
Just like a flat sign cabinet.
Looks like it's a little cleaner logo almost that way.
I think it'll actually stand out nicely.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah, I think it looks better.
Not distracting.
Okay. And again, opaque, both
Mhm.
sides, okay. Any other proposed sign changes
No.
to the building?
Nope.
Okay. You know, just, Stephanie, just make the applicant aware that, we have that 20% rule for window signage.
Okay.
They cannot exceed 20% for the window signage, so.
Okay.
It looks like they're okay, but let's just
Okay.
make sure of that.
Okay.
Will they be adding signage to the canopy? Why the extra sheet to show the canopy facade?
I think that's just showing what's existing and that there's not going to be any
Okay.
scope of work
So no planned
done.
future signs for the canopy?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
Okay.
And it's going to stay the color blue that is
Yes,
good,
yeah, because the gas
Sunoco.
portion is still Sunoco,
Right.
and then it's just the convenience store that was bought out.
Right.
Are there comments, other questions from the board?
None from me.
Stephanie?
No.
Is there any comments from the public? No? Somebody like to make a motion for approval?
Sure. So in the matter of DRB 2019-28, the application for signage, for wall signs and ground sign at 301 East Lancaster Avenue in Wayne for the 7-Eleven, I vote to approve or move that we vote to approve.
Okay, do I hear a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thanks, Stephanie.
Thank
Great,
you.
thank you.
Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Next on the agenda is DRB 2019-32, the application of Duncan. And again, that's a continuation from last month at 110 East Lancaster Avenue in Wayne for a wall sign and an awning sign. Hi there, how you doing?
Mike Patel, owner of Dunkin' Donuts on 110 East Lancaster Avenue.
Hi, Mike. Okay, you want to walk us through what you have planned?
So currently we have a canopy sign. We're looking to switch it up with just saying Dunkin'. That's our new company name instead of Dunkin' Donuts. And we switched it to a new blade sign with gooseneck lighting.
Okay.
I can't picture what's there now.
It's a canopy sign, orange canopy sign, which we're having a lot of trouble with because of the tree. It's pulling all this green stuff on it, and it's looking pretty horrible. So we try to get it cleaned up every 30 days, but it's not looking good. So we changed it to a blade sign. Looks a lot nicer, cleaner, more modern.
And how far is that going to sit out from the wall? I can't see from here.
Shorter than it's sitting out right now with the canopy. The gooseneck or the,
The sign, the actual
sign
sign, how
itself.
far is it going to extend from the wall?
can I give you the, maybe use this. It's actually pull back in. A foot at most.
The awning is going to be a umbrella as such?
That piece right there, it's metal.
It's metal?
with PVC
Okay.
lettering.
So there's no more awning.
No more awning. It's a blade sign. It's a flat sign with PVC lettering on it.
And there's no lighting currently?
There's under the canopy lighting
Uh-huh.
that's existing, and it's off of the building, so it has a little soffit that comes out with downlighting. That's what lights up the canopy.
So you're
Well, this would-
eliminating those and adding the gooseneck.
Yeah.
Give you the specs, so you can put the specs.
Can I see?
Oh, absolutely. And it's going to be 18-inch letters. That's what it says.
Yeah, 18-inch by 88.
Oh, I see.
There's no end cap to the canopy on the sides or on the angled piece that's coming out. It's just going to be the plane itself, right?
So your question is, there's no return?
There's no return, yeah, back to the building at that. There you go, thank you. Yeah, like there's no return from here back to the building. It's
think
just
it's-
going to be that,
I think it's open.
yeah. Thank you.
Okay, so basically a metal awning, and your sign is 11 square feet,
Yeah.
the Duncan, so that's well within. The gooseneck, is that existing, or
No, it's not.
it's not, so you're going to have that?
So we have some downlighting coming in into the canopy. We're gonna use the same lighting source just to use. They're gonna be LED, low voltage lighting.
You have 4 goosenecks, so you're going to have 2 over the sign and then 1 on each side of the sign? Is there a reason why you need the lights on that aren't?
So it looks
Focus on the
symmetrical
sign.
when you look at the sign. It doesn't like just light at the top. It just, that's how they designed it, the architect.
What color is the blade gonna be?
The blade, it's orange, the background of the blade, that's gonna be like a silver color, aluminum.
And the Duncan is illuminated?
No,
Internally illuminated?
No.
It is not, so it's going to get its light source from the gooseneck?
from the gooseneck.
Okay.
I'm sorry, you said it was silver, but at least in the image that we're seeing here, it's orange, right? The actual blade, or, you know, it's white, so it's a sort of white line around the text.
The thing that's holding the sign in the back, if you look at
Oh, yeah, that part I see,
that piece, that's silver.
right, but the actual sort of angled,
I'm sorry, Mike,
yes.
make sure, just talk to the mic, please.
Sure.
Thank you.
Do you have a color version?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm sorry, yeah.
Oh.
I didn't bring it from last month.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot mine.
But thanks for
Yeah.
Bob.
No, my daughter will love it.
While they're looking at that, just keep in mind also, Mike, like we mentioned to the last applicant, your window signage, you only allowed up to 20 square feet of your windows, right?
Yeah.
Of your window signage. So just make sure, you've got 2 signs in there, 4 feet each, so, you know,
Yeah,
just
we're
be
pretty-
beware of that.
okay.
You're not allowed to load up
Yeah,
your
we don't have a
your
lot of
window.
space for this.
Okay, well,
I think
don't
we're
load it
going
up, so
larger.
keep within your 20 square feet, so.
Well, those pendant lights that you have inside, they're inside the store face, are they illuminated?
Yes.
Okay.
So what's there now? Is that orange back piece, that's not there now?
The whole sign is not there right now. Right now,
Right.
it's just a canopy with like orange lettering, 4-inch orange lettering.
So
going
you're gonna
across the
be
Dunkin' Donuts.
putting on the orange block, and then extending out from that, you're gonna have the Dunkin'.
Yeah, it's attached to the orange.
So is it all one sign?
It's all one
Yes.
contiguous piece.
So does that mean that the orange is actually something that we factored into as a sign?
That's what I was kind of wondering myself.
As far as the assembly
Yeah.
of it.
Because really, if it's just a wall there, and you're putting on the orange as a backdrop for the Dunkin', then it is really as one sign.
Well, so if you have this in front of you, right, you have if you look at the circle under the installation, right, and you look at the circle drawing, right, you can sort of argue, while it looks like it's one contiguous piece, you can actually see that it's actually component-based. And so the orange is still one thing, the blade canopy is one piece, and then the Dunkin' portion is a second.
Yeah, so is it 2 signs instead of 1?
No, I think the background is more for protection from the elements.
Yeah, it's.
I wouldn't argue that it's part of the sign.
Okay.
I would agree. I think it's not the sign. The word Dunkin' is the sign.
I would agree.
Good. All right, guys, what else? You all right?
Yeah, I don't mind it.
Looking good? Tim?
No, all right.
Jason?
Yeah, I think it,
What is, so the area above the blade sign that the lights will be mounted to, what is that surface?
That surface is a,
Like wood blocking or,
yeah, it's actually a siding piece
okay,
with the soffit coming out.
and that's not being replaced?
No, it's gonna stay over there.
Is there any reason that the Dunkin' isn't centered onto the orange back?
Our architect designed it that way. I believe it's something to do with Dunkin' designs.
Okay. What else? Colin? You're in deep thought.
No, no,
No?
I was thinking of Tim's question, but
Okay.
I think it is centered.
I think it's centered.
The
It's not.
apostrophe.
the
Oh,
apostrophe.
the vertical.
Vertically,
Yeah,
exactly.
I understand.
Horizontally, it's centered.
Yeah, yeah.
But vertically, it's at the top. But really, if you're looking at it, because it's on the orange background, really, the Dunkin' would actually stand out more probably if it was actually centered onto the orange backdrop, but.
I think then you have you're already, and I understand, and we're just kind of arguing semantics. It becomes a heavier cantilever then
Yeah.
for the actual sign to kind of come out from there then.
Yeah, you're right, the cantilever would have to increase.
Yeah.
I think the other thing we just have to watch out for is getting back to the awning signs where you're only allowed to have your name in 8-inch letters on the drop. I mean, it almost invites the opportunity for somebody, if they wanted it, to rig up a sign like that, center, let's say, the Dunkin' in between. And it almost looks like now the awning has text on the drop, not the facing. So I think be a little careful of that. So maybe it's better to do it that way.
But I think you have 2 different angles though. That's where you see it separate, right? Like the word Dunkin's perpendicular to the sidewalk, whereas the orange blade has an angle to it, to the building and the sidewalk. And so
Okay.
you'll see that difference between
Right.
the 2 and know that it's not
Yes.
part of the
okay.
canopy.
Right.
That's how I read it.
Okay, good, good. All right. What else, guys?
On the backside of those circular illuminated pendants, is there anything on the backside? So if I'm in the store, do I
This
see
is the same thing.
the same logos on the
Yeah.
inside? Okay.
Mike, any questions for us? You okay? All right. We'll just wait till everybody's in agreement here, and
No, I'm good.
you're good?
I guess,
Tim?
would they need to submit a cut on the gooseneck?
Well, I think they're going to have it
For
done by a
building permit.
qualified electrician. They'll have to apply for building permits for that, so, for the goosenecks installation, so, yeah. Peggy, will actually need to cut on the goosenecks also, or will that come in with the building permit?
They can bring that in with the building permit.
Okay, good.
Will they be, what color?
Oh, they're orange.
The goosenecks will be orange?
I believe so.
What do we think of
I
that?
don't have the color on that, the color version of that.
We have the color version
It
there.
might be
They're not colored.
They're not colored on the color.
on the
version.
color,
I would think they would be black or.
black or white then.
Yeah, I would think so. I
I
think we
think
got enough
we're
orange.
composed of orange, right?
Yeah, I think it's a little too strong, that also.
Well, it'd be a distraction from your sign and your brand to make those orange also. I think
We'll try to blend them in
yeah.
to the background. We just want the light, we don't want the
Yeah, exactly.
effect of the whole
What
thing
is the
looking.
wall there? Is it masonry? Is it?
The wall is siding.
Okay.
It's stone and siding.
I guess our only concern would be in the removal of the existing canopy that you would repair and patch as need be, so it kind of blends in, so any sort of,
It's attached to the aluminum frame,
okay.
so it could come off pretty easy. And
But then
we
the
should be able
aluminum frames adheres to the side of the building in places, right? So
Yeah.
you're taking that off in its entirety, and there's gonna be holes wherever that aluminum frame was attached to the
Yeah,
building.
yeah, they'll patch those up because
Right.
they don't want no water penetration.
All right.
So we're in agreement, they're not gonna be orange lights.
No, they won't be orange lights. Yeah,
Okay.
we'll make sure it blends into the environment.
Okay, and you,
Okay.
and like Peggy needs a cut of those when you come in
Yeah,
for the
cut sheet for
building
lighting.
permit for the lights? Yeah, make sure you bring a cut,
Okay.
so they see exactly what you're putting up.
I'll have the sign installer submit that to you guys.
Okay, and I believe it has to be a qualified electrician also to do the
Yeah,
electrical work.
Signorama uses, they're pretty, one of the
Okay.
largest companies that do
All right, well, they'll make the
Signorama.
final determination, so.
I'll make
Alright.
sure.
Okay, what else? Guys ready to roll on this one?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
I think it's
take
good.
it, Colin?
The matter of DRB 2019-32, applicant Duncan, continuation 110 East Lancaster Avenue, motion to approve new blade awning and sign on front elevation.
Okay, here a second?
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Thank you very
Mike.
much.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Next on our agenda tonight is DRB 2019-36, the application of Pinwee at 968 County Line Road and Bryn Mawr for wall signage. Hello there.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I don't know if you look at with me.
Okay. You want to? Okay.
Yeah, we have one.
Thank you.
So this location's down near Bryn Mawr Hospital?
Mm-hmm.
This is where Ho Choi is now.
Yeah, there used to be a whole tray and that has a letter sign, we just changed the letter, so.
It's really, you're just changing the name.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
the same
just-
coloration. and-
Yeah,
Yeah.
everything's same.
Okay. So,
One extra letter.
so
So
nice,
is it new business then, or?
Oh, they used to be, old business, we just take over and just change the name,
Okay.
that's it.
okay. Just talk right into the mic, okay? So
Okay,
we
thank
can
you.
hear nice and loud, all right?
Thank you, thank you.
Okay, you bet. All right, so just tell us a little bit about what you plan on doing here,
Okay,
okay? So you're going to remove the sign, looks
Yeah.
like you're going to put a new one up.
yeah, yeah,
Pretty cut and dry.
yeah.
Okay, all right. Not a lot to tell, but any idea the existing letter size that's there on the building now?
No, they take all the existing sign away and
Okay.
they put the letter sign on.
Okay, so we're looking at 20-inch letters. I mean, it sits back off the road just a little bit. I mean, it's probably a little large, but,
Trying to think about what the size of those Choi signs
yeah.
was.
I mean, it certainly fits in the sign band, no problem. It's-
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you guys feel? Colin,
No comments?
looks all right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
it's very
I think
straightforward.
it's pretty clean application and, yeah, pretty straightforward and meets the square footage. And Tim, I know that's your turf down there. Look all right to you?
Yeah, it's almost identical to what was
Yeah.
there,
Okay.
so.
And we'll just ask, again, the sign manufacturer to repair any holes that were left by the prior
Yeah,
sign?
yeah. Mhm.
Okay?
Yeah.
Make all the
That's right.
necessary corrections?
Between the bagel factory and
All right, I think that's, do you have any other questions for us?
No,
Any
no, no
questions?
question, thank you.
Tim, do you want to take that one?
In the matter of DRB 2019-36, the application of Pinwee for a wall sign, move to approve the application.
Here,
I'll second.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Just one thing before you run off, you heard his comments about the last two applicants. Again, 20% of your window space can be used for signage, so try not to exceed that.
Right,
A-frame signs, sandwich board type signs are not allowed,
okay,
so save your money, don't
No.
buy one.
sure.
All right, and just make sure your address is prominently placed on the building.
Yeah.
Okay?
Thank you.
All right,
Thank
thanks. Thank you.
Good luck.
Yep.
Next on the agenda is DRB 2019-37, the application of New Wayne Pizza at 111 South Wayne Avenue in Wayne for facade renovation.
I see he's coming empty-handed. so
Yeah,
we have to-
really. We had an opportunity to have donuts, we had an opportunity to get pizza, we're getting shut out tonight.
No
Yeah.
pepperoni stromboli?
Really, yeah.
What's going on here?
I'm Mike Recco. I'm one of the owners of New Wayne Pizza,
Hi, Mike.
and I'm here to propose the window change and the door change.
Okay. I assume you're going to be back to see us again for signage and other things?
I think what we're going to be doing is awnings. So we're
Okay.
just going to wait until,
Yeah,
obviously we missed the summertime. And
Okay.
it's-
we'll still have to come back to
Oh,
see us
yeah,
even for
that's going to
awnings,
be
so-
that's what we're going to use as our signage, I think, with just the fronts of the awnings, the
Yeah,
4-inch
that-
lettering. So we're not going to get too crazy, because obviously we've been there a long time. But
Sure.
we want to give it that new look because we've been doing all this work for the last couple of years.
Right.
And just trying to keep it simple.
Yeah,
and
good.
clean. Nothing fancy.
Okay, so tell us what you were in here tonight for.
So the old windows and the door that was there when my partner Vince bought the property needs to be replaced. They're pretty old and they're not safe. The windows, the door is okay, but the windows obviously are very old and they're with the big bolts sticking out. So we wanted to match them to the pizza shop windows that are there now. As you can see, the windows, they've been there for probably 25 years already.
Sure.
And they're nothing fancy, but we're just wanted to put some nice, efficient windows in there and a door, and get the door to swing the right way, and really just to get the place looking nice.
Okay, so for viewers at home that don't know what's going on, do you want to
Yeah.
tell us what the game plan is here?
For what we did with the store,
Yeah,
so we opened up. We were fortunate enough to get the property next door to New Wayne Pizza, and to be able to put a dining room in there, which is great for us and for the township. Obviously,
sure.
we love to be able to feed the people, but it's been a little bit of a job, but it's been a fun one. Connecting the buildings and bringing them up to
Yeah.
code, and it's exciting.
Good.
So this is kind of a few of the last things that we're doing, and it'll make it look nice, so we can serve the people and kind of get with the times. We already are doing the takeout and delivery is great.
Yeah,
Sit down's going to be new to us, but I've done it before in other
So
places.
the idea that a customer would go in the new entrance to sit down and be
Yeah.
introduced by a host and everything?
Yeah, it's going to be waitresses in there. So we're going to have waitress service in there, and the building is it's open now, so there's an opening when you walk in. If you've been in there before, it's a small property, but the dining room's pretty good size since it's just being used as a dining room. But we got the handicap bathrooms in there, so it kind of ate it up a little bit, but still plenty of seating in there.
when do you expect to open that?
Probably by the end of the month, we're trying.
Oh, good.
But with the windows and doors, it's not holding us up, but I don't think we want to make that mess when we're open. I don't want to do it. So we're going to, once we move forward with this, we'll get it installed as quick as possible, and, we'll be back to see you again, obviously, for
Yeah.
the
So
awnings.
this
But
is a aluminum storefront?
they're now Malvern Glass is doing the doors and the windows, and I believe they're aluminum framed, yes.
They're aluminum.
Yeah.
If Malvern's doing them.
Yeah. They're nothing fancy, but they're efficient,
Well, what's nice is that it's consistent with
the other
your
properties.
existing.
Yeah.
And so that it gives a
As a bronze
sort of a
frame, like we tried to
consistency
match it.
across. Yeah.
The door needed to be redone. You can see the old window. The windows, it's a neat design, say the older ones, but if you look at the inside of it, it's really not, it's not
Wood
safe.
frame.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're metal and
Oh,
they have bolts sticking out of them, kind of like, and that was okay, but not for a restaurant, not for nowadays. So it does look nice and clean.
Not that I care, but are the existing, are they blinds or are they louvers?
The first ones are louvers.
Okay,
The other ones will not be.
gotcha.
Will the windows be opening during
No.
summertime? They're gonna
No.
stay closed?
No, they're not able to open. It's a
Okay.
small building. We have central air in there. But, yeah.
Mike, just remember to put your address number on
Oh,
the building.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, we're 109, and that's obviously 111.
right.
Trying to make it as one, but it still has to be, like, it's one restaurant. You would
Okay.
think it would be 109, but it's not.
Okay.
It's 111 as
All right.
well. I don't think we'll be receiving any mail there. I mean, I hope not.
Yeah. But hopefully all good comments from the
Yeah,
public,
yeah,
right,
it's
about
been-
how good your food is.
Well, a lot of people are excited about it. It's
Yeah.
almost like they don't see it, and now all of a sudden we've kind of opened it up a little bit, and they're like,
Sure.
oh my goodness, when did you do all this? And we're like, we've been doing it for a while,
Yeah.
it just takes time.
Sure.
Yeah,
All right.
so,
Any other comments on the windows and doors and stuff?
No, I
Look
think
good?
it's good. Yeah.
Look good. Mike, any questions for us?
no.
Good shape? Okay.
All right.
Jason?
Great. Well, then, in the matter of DRB 2019-37, the applicant for New Wayne Pizza at 111 South Wayne Avenue, for facade, their application for facade renovation, I move the vote.
Here a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Thank you, Mike.
Thanks a
Great.
lot. See you
Appreciate
again.
you. Yep.
What was that? What kind of stromboli was it?
You
See
should
ya.
know.
What was that?
You should know.
Thank you, Mike. All righty. Well, that's our last shot for food tonight. We got no more restaurants coming in, so I guess we'll starve.
Definitely my favorite.
Yeah, it's good. All right, next is DRB 2019-38, the application of the Willows Park Preserve at 490 Darby Paoli Road in Villanova for facade renovations. Hi.
I don't know, maybe that's wine?
I don't know. Well, maybe. I kind of doubt it, but.
We even have a sample door or window.
Hello there, how are you? That's great. We like a good show. Actually, here's a handheld mic. It's probably going to come in handy for you. Great, super, thank you. There you go. Get a new window.
There you go. Yeah, they're going all out.
Wow. this thing or anything to fill the void here?
We could be eating right now.
Yeah, we could be.
Pepperonis from the way down?
That pizza would have been good.
Oh,
Just Italian. You gotta go straight up Italian.
Italian meat.
Yeah.
I've done it.
And then my wife requests a cup of sauce on the sides, which we dip her.
That's
Used to.
That's more like calzone
Well, she gets,
with the dip.
she doesn't want
Thank you.
the peppers and onions and mushrooms. Like, I love that part too.
All right.
Sometimes I omit those.
Hello.
Hello there, how are you?
Good. My name is Dan Rusnella. I'm a partner at Archer and Buchanan Architecture.
Great.
And we're here representing Willow Parks Preserve. I'm accompanied by Suzanne Amrich, who is a preservationist in our firm. And we're here to talk specifically about the replacement of the roof of the Willows Mansion.
Okay, great.
We're really excited to be here. I think we have a pretty good show. Usually ask for a sample and get something that you have to hold up to your face. Well, they were a little more generous
Yeah,
with us.
it's terrific.
So let me start. Obviously, you're all well acquainted with Willows Park, right in here, the distinctive pond, the mansion, which we'll be talking about tonight. To orient you, this is the carriage house, the public parking, and then come up the drive to the carriage house. And as I said, we'll be focusing on the roof replacement. So with that in mind, we provided you with a booklet a few weeks ago, and there are some slight changes from this booklet because as we've done more research, we've discovered some things. So let me start with the house now has a flat Ludovici striated slate or clay tile. That's what's on the house now, in very poor condition, and I will show you some photos of that.
Yeah.
The plan is to remove that roof and replace it with what is more historically accurate for the house is a barrel-shaped Ludovici clay tile. And we have samples of those that we'll pass around as well. And to help us, yes, thanks, Suzanne. To help us match the colors that are there was found a stockpile of tiles that were taken off the original roof. And so we're working with Ludovici to find a good match. We also asked them if they had historical records of what they sold to the contractor when the house was originally built, but they don't have records that go back that far. And the only photos we have are black and white, so
Okay.
the only photos we have are black and white, so we are working from those. But this full roof will be removed. You can see here there are currently 2 dormers on the house. There were originally 5. On the back, a shed dormer was built. And what we gave you a few weeks ago was a drawing that showed 4 dormers here. We did find a photograph, and I'll show it to you, that shows that there are 3 dormers back here that will get rebuilt. There are currently, and they are original to the house, these 3 chimneys, and then these small dormers here are vent dormers that vent an attic space. We have not found any photographs of this elevation of the house. We believe there may have been some dormers here, but because there may be a future addition on this building, that roof line would come up into these in any case. So we don't think it's worth building something that might either be hidden or later removed. You can see, let me blow this up a bit, just to bring you in a little closer. The existing building, south elevation, which is really the front. See if I can slide this up. The proposed change, south elevation, original house. Now we are talking about, the work we're talking about tonight is from this eave line up. So we will be rebuilding the dormers and replacing the roof. Suzanne, do you want to talk a bit about the dormers and the relationship to the window?
So,
I'm sorry, Suzanne, please, can you use a hand? Okay, thanks.
So
Yes.
So, the roof, the materials for this clay tile roof has a 75-year warranty. Obviously, we have some existing. Mic is not on. There we go. So obviously, we have some existing millwork that's in really great shape. There's some minor repairs that have to occur at the underside of the eave, the freeze board, and the brackets. So those will have to be painted, but we're really trying to minimize the amount of maintenance on this roof, given the type of roof that we're putting on top. So we understand that for the flat roof, there may be some resurfacing over time, but we're really trying to keep these dormers very low maintenance. So the cheek walls of the dormers will have they'll basically have a shingle clay tile on the side of them. You'll see an image of that in the packet or later in the presentation. And then we're proposing that we use the Pella Reserve casement window. Originally, they had French casements. This is actually a casement window with a modified vertical rail to simulate the look of a French casement. And the only reason that we're doing that is because the French casement from the Pella Reserve is not available in the size that we need. Mm-hmm. And actually, the Pella Reserve window, Pella worked with the National Park Service to come up with a window that was historically accurate in its profiles, its sight lines, and all of that. So it's one of the main reasons that we're utilizing this or proposing this particular window. On the top, currently the dormers have a flat seam copper roof, and those are in poor condition. So we'll be on the two existing dormers, we'll be replacing those, and the new dormers will have a flat seam copper roof. And we're proposing a boral trim and sills for around the windows to keep the maintenance low on those as well.
Okay. Feel free to, I don't know if you want to ask questions as we're going or if there's
Comments, guys?
Does the window have a center mullion when both are open?
No, so this operates just like a casement, so it'll have a single swing out, but it looks like a French.
Right.
Correct,
Gotcha.
correct. But now granted, the third floor will be used for storage, but one of the things that we wanted to consider was that if in the future it does have a use, we wanted to make sure that the windows were egress, and this gives us the capability of that.
This is the rear elevation, and I'm going to blow this up a bit for a couple of reasons. One is to show you what is there now, which is that shed dormer, added probably in the 30s. This is what's original to the house, so we're proposing the 3 dormers be added. And this is actually the image that we found showing the 3 dormers right here. And this image is actually a real estate advertisement that was in the May 1916 Country Life magazine, where the realtor was advertising, hey, we got a great home here on a great property if anybody's interested. So we haven't been able to find a lot on the house, but everything we've been able to find, we're trying to use and glean as much as possible from it.
So that, may I ask, that's a change from what you submitted a couple weeks ago to today. There's 4 dormers.
Yes.
In what you proposed.
Yes.
And more
And
research provided that there was
yes.
actually 3.
And we have a thumb drive and a packet to submit to you.
Okay.
So that matches what you're seeing here
Right,
tonight.
right. May I ask, the existing structure is like for both facades, right? Both the rear and the
Yep.
front, you actually see that well, I guess the dormer portions aren't there, but the framing behind it
Yes.
accommodates, you could see
Yes,
that was
we could see
originally
that,
intended
especially in
for
the attic
4 or
portion where
5.
there are no interior finishes. We can see the framing that was there for those dormers, as well as the wall configure inside indicates that there was a dormer
That
there.
the dormers there.
And you'll see in a couple of slides the photo that I think confused us as to why there may have been 4 with the interior wall framing, and this proved that it was just 3. So.
Right.
So in these images, these are historical images. You can see there's one dormer here that's not in the picture, and then there's 4 that are revealed here, each one centered over a window. So that's how we understood the facade from the from the south elevation. I guess you're probably familiar with, it had a beautiful garden in front, and about where the cursor is now, the little hand, that wall was moved up to be on this side of the steps on either side of the garden, and that's what they call the Swan Fountain now. So it is an original remnant from the building, but that full garden is not there. You can see from the back photo, the quality of these photos, you can see there's kind of a tartan pattern almost over them, or a moire pattern. It makes it a little hard to understand exactly how what the tile roof was in terms of, was it a consistent single color, or was it a blend of similar colors, or were there highlighted colors in it? It's hard to tell. And we'll address that in a little more detail when we talk about the tiles that are on display here. But you can start to compare existing to original, existing to original.
And that's where that one dormer in the upper right-hand image, that we can see that one dormer that's kind of, if I'm looking at the plan,
Right there.
it's sort of plan east.
And,
yeah.
and that is there, and that's one of the ones we will retain.
So it's still there now to this day?
Yeah.
To be
Yeah.
honest, we walk around there, but I can't remember.
Yeah, you could see the bit of copper roof there. You can
Yep,
see
yep,
right there.
yep.
So the roof that's on there now, that was put on prior to Radnor's acquisition of the property?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
so that was the Zanzinger estate, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that was probably done by them at one
Yes.
time, okay.
And it's a good roof, but it's served its time, and that's what these slides are to show you. I think the township has, over the years, when it was both occupied and since you've kind of been caring for the house, done a good job maintaining it. You should be commended on that. But you can see by the condition of this roof, it is at the end of its useful life. There are a number of areas where water infiltration can occur, whether it's at deteriorated flashing or openings in ridges and valleys. In this case, somebody came along at some point and just started trying to caulk it all up. But there was water getting in. The chimneys, and this is a good example of the 3 chimneys, but they appear, and from our conversations with our structural engineer, they're structurally sound still. What we'll do in restoring them is have the stucco removed so we can really see the underlying masonry back up, and if there are repairs to be made, they'll be made. We'll look at the exposed brickwork, and overall it's looking pretty good. There's probably some areas that might need some repair, some areas that'll definitely need to be repointed. So the chimneys are in pretty good shape. You can see here this piece of copper coming down as part of the lightning protection system. This work, the roof replacement, will include a new lightning protection system put on the building. I think, let me just blow this up a bit, and we'll slide over here. That dormer, when you look at this picture down here, we thought there was 1, 2, 3, 4 windows based on this room, but the historic photograph showed us otherwise. Let's see, I'm pushing the wrong button. Showed us otherwise. I'm trying to get this to drag, but it's not. So, but the point is you can see there's a lot of deterioration, and they're definitely not original windows or anything like that. That might be in the center, an old original window. And you can see the water damage inside from around the dormers that do exist. And then to talk more specifically about the tiles, you can see here we have an array of tiles, all in the red and terracotta families, ranging from a burgundy to a crimson red to a clay red to various textures of sandy and others. What we want to do before the actual roof is replaced is set up some mock-ups, work with Willows Park Reserve, and determine what the best combination is in terms of whether it's a single monochromatic roof replacement or if there's some bit of custom blend. We're showing these slides because you can see here's the barrel vault on all of these, the barrel tile. This tile is pretty monochromatic. There's a few highlights in it, but that's kind of an example of what a most monochromatic tile would look like. And it also shows that on the sides are some flat tiles. And I can blow that up, but before I do that, I don't want it to mess up. So up here, you can start to see there's a little more of a blend in these tiles. Again, very handsome, and by looking at the photographs, we have a sense there might have been some blend on the original house. And then looking at this, we're not planning to do anything like this, but it's a good example of how beautifully blended the tiles can be and how they could be quite controlled. So we're not worried about anything patchy turning out on the house. I think they're, between working with Ludovici, a good roofer, and making the right selection of tiles, whether it's monochromatic or there is some blend, we can certainly get it to look quite beautiful. We think the roof on this house, and that's the last of our slides, we think the roof on this house in itself is going to make just a striking change. I mean, the distant view, the near view, is going to make a striking change and let people know that the township and the preserve is doing something, Willow Parks Preserve is doing something to save the property. And we're hoping it also engages people to be more active in supporting it and help in the fundraising. But I think success breeds success, and seeing that beautiful roof replaced and the house coming to life will make a big difference. We will come before you again when we put together the drawings and the concepts for the eave down. So you can start to see the proposals we have for preserving and fixing the balance of the house. So with that, want to pass up to Tyler too, so they can get the feel of.
May I ask, is there a position that you guys have now on whether it's a monochromatic roof, or if there is sort of a range of colors to create some variation?
Our
Does the preserve
opinion.
have a position, or
Our opinion
architect?
is, and we haven't taken a position yet because we want to do that in consultation with the preserve. But our position is, we think, from the best we can see on photographs, is there was some modulation to it.
Right.
Your cover page indicates there's some kind of blend.
Yeah, but it's also taken from a photo that had that
Right.
kind of moire. So we're trying to take it with a grain of salt. And we also think that when there's some blend, it makes the weathering happen a little more easily, meaning you're not going to get as many.
Right.
The streaks or weathered spots tend to blend in more. So our recommendation is probably going to be to look at some kind of blend. I think that might be the easy decision. The harder decision is when it comes to color, everyone has an opinion. So again, we will advise, but whether it's red, burgundy, brown, where you find that right mix of terracotta, because
Right.
that's subjective.
But it'll all complement the original tiles
Right.
Yeah.
stockpile that they found.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the older mansions in the area, like a Drossen, do they have that type of roof currently or not?
I don't know specifically about that, but
Yeah.
these tiles were common in the period
Right.
and throughout this area.
Mhm.
Yep.
Okay.
And may I-
Ludovici has a great business going because of the treasure of historic houses
Right.
there are, as well as the quality of these tiles. It's pretty much a lifetime
Mhm.
tile. So it's not a difficult, we're not finding something that's difficult to find,
Right.
Yeah.
overly expensive, or people don't know how to use it
Mhm.
anymore. It's a tried and true material that's
Wow.
still commonly used.
Will the
Yes.
flat tile
Colin,
on the
I'm
sides
sorry,
of the
your mic.
dormers be the same color?
Yes, yeah, and there's a manufacturer that makes them for Ludovici, so they get the color matches. They use the same clays and stuff. So it's similar to what's on the roof now, which is that flat tile. It's just made for the.
And will the copper dormer roofs be a true copper or a standing seam that appears to be copper?
There'll be a true copper, but I do want to say that the owners or the preserves owner's rep has been doing their due diligence in getting pricing. And one of the roofers has given pricing for a heavy copper, a
That's
medium
good.
weight
Just
copper,
you can be more
as
than
well as a zinc material.
No, it's okay.
All those materials are acceptable to us. There's been a concern expressed, will copper be in danger of being stolen or pulled off the building if it's not properly watched?
Right.
And that's a valid concern. But for us, that range of materials, the copper or the zinc, I think would look really fine.
And do you think you'll allow it to age naturally, or you'll patina it?
No, I think we'd allow it to age naturally. And I think, you know, when you talk about gutters and downspouts, it's the size and form of those that look right with the house. So they're gonna be, you know, 4 to 6 inch round gutters, round downspout. It's not gonna be K gutters. It's not gonna be aluminum. It's not gonna be brown painted. I mean, we're really talking about something that equals the quality of the house.
Mhm. Great. What else, guys? Tim? Looking all right? Colin?
Yeah.
Jason?
No, I think it's good. I think
Yeah.
you sort of was well presented, so.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you very much for that.
Yeah.
Kind of really allows us to see sort of the full extent of what you're thinking, so thank you.
Yeah, looks
Okay.
great.
Anybody need a window for the house? That's heavy to carry. It's heavy to carry out. We'd like,
Is there any public comment tonight? Anybody like to say anything? No? Okay. Do you have any questions for the board? or
No.
You guys are good?
Nope.
Okay.
Tish and the representatives preserve, you're good?
Okay.
Yeah, we're good.
Colin or Tim, want to take this one?
Actually, may I
Oh,
just,
sure.
if you guys do build the mock-up out on site or something, I don't know if it's if we can at least be invited to that. Is that something we can ask? Just to see the color? That the board is just made aware of when
Yeah.
when you guys
I
select the
don't
color, just to see.
I think that's
We have
amenable
no
to
way
the,
in at that
our
time, but
client,
just to,
and, yeah.
All right.
I'd like to
Sounds
see
good.
it.
Sure. Okay. Great. Whose turn it is? Tim,
I'll
you want to
take
take it?
In the
Okay.
matter of DRB 2019-38, the application for Willows Park Preserve, application for facade renovation, move to approve the application.
Here a second?
I second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
Thank you very
Great-
much.
Great
Thank you very much for your
presentation,
time.
great work.
Thank you.
Thanks. We'll look forward to seeing you, I guess, in a few months, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. Great.
Who do I give the thumb drive to, and we'd like to leave a book
Peggy.
with you?
You bet. Thank you very much. Great. Looking great.
Right?
Great.
Look forward to it.
Here, we'll let him clean up for a minute there before we jump into the next application. Looks like Verizon's not here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, next is DRB 2019-39, the application of Lovebirds Boutique at 105 East Lancaster Avenue in Wayne for wall signage. Hello, Dennis.
Hi, I'm Dennis McLaughlin from Denron Sign Company. This is a pretty simple sign at 105 East Lancaster Avenue. It's at the corner of Wayne and Lancaster Avenue there. There we have the sign band there with lights up in there that shine down on it. And this sign is 2 by 8. The frontage is like 15 feet wide. We did some other signs for the customer, and they like this, just simple. It's a PVC black background with PVC dimensional letters attached to it, like that, to appear. Oh, I'm sorry, I don't have it. To appear as like it's shown there. And that opening right there is like 24.5 inches, but after you get under there, it gets a little larger, but you want to keep the sign background to like 24 inches so it can cover, even though holes have been filled and everything there, cover any like stucco imperfections and things like that. And the letters are 9.5 and 6 inches and a small 2-inch there. So, it's just for the walking traffic and the stop
Right,
traffic
right.
there. It doesn't have to be seen from far.
Mhm.
And it's non-illuminated, it'll be mounted, there'll be hidden fasteners, they'll be non-corrosive. We'll stud mount it from the back and just drill holes and put the background up there.
Pretty cut and dry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Any comments?
I think
Questions?
it's a good look.
Yeah, it is a nice look.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Nice, clean look.
What's the frontage of the store?
It's like 15 feet. They're taking up, I believe the previous tenant had both stores. They're taking the right side on this.
Yeah, okay.
Oh,
So 15 will give them 2 square feet for the first 15, so they're allowed up to 30.
Yeah, so we're only at
Yeah.
16 square feet
Yeah,
right
they're-
now.
Good shape, yeah. Okay. Is that the owner sitting there?
Yeah,
You want to get
that's-
up and tell us a
that's
little bit
Grace.
about your new business? It's free advertising.
She didn't want to come on.
Well, here you are. It's a free ad.
Hi, I'm Grace.
Hi, Grace.
So
Right.
this-
Talk right into the mic, please. Thanks.
Sorry. It's going to be a women's clothing boutique with some accessories and shoes and stuff like that. Opening in the fall, hopefully November. And yeah.
Good. Great. Lots of luck.
Yeah, absolutely. Good luck.
Yeah. Okay.
And I told her that you would call her up.
Yeah. Okay, good. You know the drill here, right? Yeah. Okay, good. All right. Any other comments, questions? You guys good?
Yeah, I
Everybody's
think it's
good?
great.
Grace, you're good? Dennis, you're all right? Okay.
Thank you.
want-
Matter of DRB 2019-39, motion to approve new wall sign at 105 East Lancaster Avenue, Wayne. Motion to approve.
second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay,
Thank you very
thank
much.
you.
Thank
Good
you.
luck. Have a good night.
Actually, my grandfather was in that location in 1932 to 1950.
Really?
Yeah. Mhm.
1932 to 50, so for
Yeah.
18 years.
18 years, yeah.
In that same?
I believe it was that exact spot, right in the
Yeah.
middle. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, yep.
And
Until
what,
until we moved to the
moved
current.
and purchased
Yes.
the current property?
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
That's interesting.
Yep.
And that's when he bought it, in 1950?
No, I guess 1949 had the store
So
built.
was your
Yeah.
store
Yeah.
not built prior
Correct,
to
it was
that?
just land. Yeah, the stores were all built at that time.
It's amazing.
Yeah, yep.
Did your
All right.
grandfather build the whole stretch?
No, I wish you
No.
did. Just
Yeah,
the one, yeah, yeah. Okay, next is DRB 2019-40, the application of Verizon at 314 East Lancaster Avenue in Wayne for our wall signs, freestanding signs, and awnings. It doesn't look like the applicant's here, so we'll do a continuation, if that's okay, Peggy? Okay, so we'll call for a continuation to next month. Do we hear us?
Second?
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. And the last one on the agenda is DRB 2019-41, the application of T-Mobile Northeast at 201 King of Prussia Road for antennas and RVs and hybrid cables and all that good stuff for cell phones. And they've asked for a withdrawal. They'll be back to see us next year. So, and I guess that concludes tonight's meeting, unless there's any other business for our board.
No? I think
Okay,
we're good to go.
see you next month. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.